Better buckle up and get prepared. Ronald Reagan warned us. Trump warned us. And there's an interesting dynamic as Trump comes in. Ronald Reagan had one of the best economies, and Trump is about to take us into the golden era. Now, the key to this is to understand at a deep level what is actually happening here. Here's the difference. We have a totally different economy than Ronald Reagan. The ball that we caught, we are buried in debt. There's more debt than there is income. We are 100 years since the Federal Reserve was created in 1913. Our wealth gaps are absolutely massive. We are fully about 50 years from detached from the gold standard, and our money is completely fake. Our purchasing power is down to 3% of the American dollar. And there's a new advent called Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology. If you take your time and you go deep into studying this and you stop following all this bullshit distraction happening right now, every single time a Trojan horse comes in, they get you drunk in the Coliseum. They have you looking this way and the whole system is switching this way. Ask yourself, what are you doing? Are you scrolling aimlessly through TikTok? Are you following these crazy narratives? Are you worried about P. Diddy and J-Lo and Oprah and all these people? Or are you dialed in, focused, developing financial literacy, understanding what is actually happening right now? Because I'm here to tell you, if you understand how to navigate the next 18 months, and after that, we go into a bear market, in the next 6 years, you will be the generational shifter in your family. This is the biggest shift in generational wealth in history. There are massive things happening right now. Number one, the baby boomers are transferring a large amount of wealth down. Okay. Number two is we are moving into a blockchain technology. I guarantee you Bitcoin will be a sovereign debt crisis solve, and you will have currencies or bridge currencies like XRP, XLM, many others that are going to change the infrastructure of your financial system. Okay. And lastly, everything you do is going to change. Your job, how you communicate, everything. We're heading into a golden era. So let's pay attention to what's going on. In the back end, I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing. Okay. First, we're going to listen to this from Ronald Reagan. He says, we have inflation because the government is living too well. And I want you to think about this right now. So what did our government experience? They got, well, right, Cantillon effect. Since 2008, the big collapse, what did they do to fix it? They printed a shit load of money. And in 2012, Obama turned the printing machine on full blast with the Obama Rescue Plan, right? And then in 2020, they shut the whole globe down. Interesting. You need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. And they just turned that printing machine on full blast. And who got really, really wealthy? Not the middle class, not the working poor, the largest companies in the world. And some of these politicians got very, very wealthy. Get ready, guys. This is your chance to get a piece of Wall Street.
He has then accused the people of living too well, and that we must share in scarcity, we must sacrifice and get used to doing with less. We don't have inflation because the people are living too well. We have inflation because the government is living too well. Would like to ask the president, why is it inflationary to let the people keep more of their money and spend it the way they'd like? And it isn't inflationary to let him take that money and spend it the way he wants.
I mean, couldn't say it better myself. So everybody's pushing back on Trump's new plan of cutting taxes, right? Cutting taxes, putting more money in our pocket, the private and public sector coming together, becoming the crypto capital of the world, and growing our way out of this economy. So that's the key. You got to navigate your finances through this. Okay. Key. Now, Cathie Woods is one of my favorite investors. She does a really good job explaining this. And the reason why I brought up the Reagan era, because she talks about that. And listen to what she says.
Greetings, everyone. Well, we have more clarity now in terms of the investment landscape after the election. And I wanted to talk a little bit about...
By the way, sit tight, get a pen and paper out. We're going to listen to about 4 minutes of this.
About deja vu for me. I started my career really in the early 80s. And at the time, we had the Reagan administration, and a lot of controversy about everything, much of which we're hearing today, the same kinds of controversy. So I wanted to take you a little bit through the macros, what the Trump administration says it wants versus what might likely happen, given that backdrop, as well as how this clarity is going to impact the world of innovation, the world of transformative innovation. And we believe the world is transforming and in miraculous ways. So we want to take you through some of that and how this administration, its policies are probably going to accelerate these changes. So let's talk about macros first. In the early days of the Reagan administration, there were back-to-back recessions and interest rates hit 15%. And that was a very difficult environment for investing. Well, President Trump is coming into office.
This is important.
When that part of the equivalent in the Reagan administration has been done. And
Huge,
I remember after that, the 80s and 90s were the golden age of active.
And what do they keep saying? Trump says he's bringing us into the golden era.
Equity investing.
Listen.
And I think we're going back there. First of all, in terms of the controversy, a deficit back then, after back-to-back recessions, 5.5%. The bond market was apoplectic about that. Investors were as well. And what they didn't understand is that the Reagan policies of tax cuts, along with lower interest rates caused by Volcker, moving from double-digit interest rates to something much lower, that those were going to be very positive for economic growth, and that we were going to grow our way out of the deficit. That growth out of the deficit started in the 80s with the Reagan administration and finished in the 90s with the Clinton administration, taking us into a surplus. We think we're going to experience somewhat of the same thing this time around. The tax cuts, we believe, are critically important, especially if Trump makes good on his tariff promise. Now,
so she's going to go deeper into it. She talks about blockchain technology. I don't want to steal her thunder. So basically, the things I want you to understand is he's going to lower taxes, right? Which is phenomenal for the economy. Phenomenal, especially if you're a crypto investor. Okay, he's going to usher in a golden era. But we still have a bumpy road ahead of us, guys. We still have the fact that they probably will weaponize the financial system against Trump. Okay, so you got to pay attention. Why do you think BlackRock is flying into Bitcoin now? Why do you think that every asset manager is now like, let's get a piece of Bitcoin? You got to pay attention, guys. You got to pay attention to the narrative. You got to rewire your brain. This is a totally different economy. Okay, so Bitcoin tops 82,000. This was on November 11th. It hit 90,000 last night as crypto euphoria over Trump win shows no sign of waning. And I'll leave you guys with this, and I'll share with you guys exactly what I'm doing. So I want you guys to hear about the Reagan era. We're heading into this golden age. It's going to be a little bit bumpy. This week is going to be a little bit rough. Pay attention to Friday, the 15th. There is a full moon and is a really deep energy on Friday. So just sit back, relax, take a deep breath, get some popcorn, watch the show.
This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world, and we'll get it done. If crypto is going to define the future, I want to be mined, minted, and made in the USA. It's going to be. It's not going to be made anywhere else. And if Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say, it's going to the moon. I want America to be the nation that leads the way, and that's what's going to happen. I pledge to the Bitcoin community that the day I take the oath of office, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's anti-crypto crusade will be over. It will end. It'll be done. It'll be done. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman. This
Okay.
afternoon.
So here we are, guys. Okay, so let's walk through this. So a lot of you are new to crypto, and a lot of you have stayed on the sidelines because it's almost paralyzing, right? Because our grandparents and our parents' economy no longer exist. It's a totally different economy. Okay, so success, I guess, I don't know what success leaves clues. Is that the right word? Follow the money flow. That's what I meant to say. Success leaves clues. That wasn't the right thing. So I'm not saying touting BlackRock or any of that stuff, but you have to watch what these big asset managers are doing. Okay. So we're just going to go through some logic. Okay. Bitcoin was created in 2009. BRICS was created to de-dollarize. And then all of a sudden, 2024, now Bitcoin is the savior for the sovereign debt crisis, and countries all over the world are stacking Bitcoin. Think about that. The largest asset manager in the world is stacking Bitcoin. Grayscale is now going to be moving on the New York Stock Exchange with a basket of currencies, including XRP, Ethereum, where they're working to get on there, Bitcoin, right? All the ones that we've told you are going to be the big three. Think about this, guys. Like you have to get out of that era that it's not here. So now how do you navigate this? So what I did is I still understand it's very, very speculative. Okay. In 2020 to 2022, I accumulated, or excuse me, during the bull run after I accumulated, as it went up, I pull on targets up. So right now it's going parabolic, right? I only pull if it hits my exit targets. Okay. I have a long-term horizon. The next 6 years, we have a lot of time to get really wealthy. But in the short term, you can make a lot of money in a short amount of time. And now it's not some tinfoil hat, guys. You guys see what's happening with the market. People are making thousands of dollars a day. Bitcoin went from 60,000 to 90,000 like that. And it's going to shoot up to 150 like that. Your altcoins are going to go up like that. Okay. But you got to have a game plan, and you also need to have a long-term horizon. This is how I got wealthy, and this is how we're going to build generational wealth. Okay. So what I did is when it went up, I pulled profits. Okay. I'm holding Bitcoin. I'm never touching my Bitcoin. I put all my other cryptocurrencies. So you have Bitcoin, then you have altcoins. That's all other cryptos. As it goes up, I have exit targets. I'm not emotional. You can download Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. We're the co-founders and creators of it. Okay. It tells you exit targets. So as you go up the exit targets, I pull. Okay. I move it down the risk pyramid. I use cash value life insurance. I use index universal life. Some people use whole life. I use index universal life. I use term to protect my family. I use IUL for 3 reasons. Number one, I literally pull house money and I protect my money. When markets collapse, my principal is guaranteed. Number two is I can borrow richest man in Babylon against the cash value if I choose to. And number three, money compounds every 7 years at 10%. I'm getting anywhere from 6 to 12%. So I'm taking house money off the table. I'm securing my family's future, and I can retire tax-free. I can borrow against it. It's not a retirement policy, but I can borrow against it tax-free with tax code 77028 retirement. Do you think taxes are going to be higher or lower when we retire? They're going to be higher. These are historically low tax rates, and he's probably going to bring them down even lower. Okay. Next, I will buy more precious metals. I'm going into real estate because I went from having, them shutting down my business in 2020 and having money problems to now having tax problems. Now, what I mean by that, not tax problems, is I trying to mitigate taxes now because I make a lot more income than I did from 2020 to 2022. The difference is, being in the cryptocurrency space, is I didn't do what a lot of other influencers did. I didn't buy cars and Lambos and big houses. I didn't change my lifestyle. What I did was I invested in companies, I diversified outside, and I created a fortress for my family. The lifestyle will come in this bull run with assets paying for the lifestyle. Okay. So you have to change your frame of mind. If your frame of mind is, when you hear people say, oh, Lambo money, it's like, nah, man, nah. The Lambo should be bought by an asset. You ask my daughter or my son, they understand that. I had to rewire my brain. I had to rewire the whole foundation, right? If I wouldn't have rewired it, I'm glad that there was a big bear market, because I learned so much over the last 3 years. Okay. Now what'll happen is we're in 2024. So I'm going to calmly exit the markets as it goes up. If it doesn't hit my exit targets, I hold. Okay, I dollar cost average in every day, and I buy big chunks when it drops. I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to max fund my policies. Okay. And then I'm going to put money on the sidelines when it collapses. 2026, 2027, 2028. I'm going to accumulate. And then we got another big cycle coming. So we have about 6 years to get really, really wealthy. Now, this bull run's very important. We got some time constraints right now because we're going into the bull run. Okay. But stay calm, build a plan, build a long-term fundamental portfolio. Okay. Stop trying to get rich quick. Stop chasing these meme coins, these influencers that are pumping meme coins. Very few people win in those games, guys. They're winning because they're being paid to promote these. Be very careful. Okay. To get wealthy, you got to have a long-term fundamental thesis. Okay. You're not chasing meme coins. I have 10% of my portfolios in meme coins. They collapse. It doesn't matter. I have Dogecoin and Sheep, and I'm holding those, and I've done very well with both of them. I'm not chasing meme coins. That is not how you build wealth. You do it through sustainability. You do it through discipline, consistency, and data. And then you look at the data and you make slow, methodical moves. Warren Buffett's not chasing meme coins. You know, I mean, you don't hear any wealthy people that I talk to chasing meme coins. It just doesn't make sense. So I hope this information helps. I only speak about the truth that I'm embodied and what I'm actually doing. And what makes me the richest man in the world is my foundation with God in Christ Jesus. I love you guys very, very much. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go. If you need any support, check this out. First, a warning. I will never proactively DM you. I'll never ask about your crypto. We do not have a trading platform. We do not invest people's crypto. You'll never send me money. So somebody's pretending to be me. It's not me. And you'll never send my team money directly ever. Okay. So that's not me on WhatsApp. That's not me on Telegram. I don't care how much AI technology you're using. You're being scammed. Okay. What we do have is people ask me all the time about how I use cash value life insurance. Okay. I have a whole team that can help you out, but what works for me may not work for you. So there's a needs assessment in the description of this video or in my social media platform. Click the link. When you fill out the needs assessment, my team will review it, and I'll have the proper team member reach out to you based on your needs. They'll text you, call you, email you. Make sure you show up to your appointment. We're getting hundreds of appointments per month. So make sure you show up. If you take a spot, make sure you show up to that appointment. Okay. They're going to walk through retirement strategies. They're going to dream with you a little bit. They're going to see where you're at and see how we can best support you. Remember, you'll never send them money directly. Okay. It's a free consultation. Number 2 is if you need support and you want to put blinders on, like we all did, almost 9,000 people worldwide have helped since 2020, get in my 120-day challenge. It will change your life. I promise you. 120-day challenge. You'll see the academy down there. You will not regret it. It'll be the best investment you've ever made. Live calls, education. We have a community. We have everything you need to put the blinders on to feel that support. You can ask questions. It's the place for you if you want to navigate the next 4 years. Love you guys. See you on the side.